What's up guys, my name is Aaron aka Super Liger Tiger and this is Worth It. Welcome back everyone. In case you forgot what Worth It is, I buy a product, I unbox it, open it, let you know the good, the bad, the ugly about it, and in the comments below, you let me know if it's worth it or not. And while you're here, make sure to like and subscribe so I can continue to spend more money and buy more cool things that I'm about to show you. So today on Worth It, if you're anything like me, you probably have one of these. This is a smartphone. It is pretty common for most people because we all have phones. If you're also more like me, you probably have an iPhone. And to keep the common theme going, if you are also like me, you probably have games on your phone. And finally, if you're also very much like me, you probably might struggle with the controls on your games on your phone. Just because when you put your hand up on it and down, it like moves and you can't really control it right, and sometimes it gets you frustrated. So to alleviate that frustration, today I will be talking about the Razer Kishi game controller. Let's open it up. So this is the Razer Kishi. If you also look closely here, this box is kind of gross because they decided to put some weird sticker on here that will not come off. So the box is ugly and I kind of hate it. Anyway, you have your Razer Kishi, inside is the controller. On the back here we have basically what it does, how it's seamless compatibility. Really quickly, on the other corner here, it says that it is made for iPhone. There is one that's specific for Android, one for iPhone, so if you do decide to buy this product, make sure that you do look before you buy it. So box-wise, you have basically your cover of the thing, you have your whatever it is, like requirements, what's inside, on here, how it's talks about how it's an ergonomic design. You have the Razer logo here. I am noticing that you do have this green on each of the sides, and comparing it with an old classic, the Razer Onzus, it is black on this side. So I'm wondering if for this, because it's a gaming product, they have it more green, and like non-gaming products have more black. Maybe it's just something I'm noticing, maybe it's nothing, but anyway, let's open this up. Alright, knife-wise, I think because this is an open box product, this tape, if you can kind of see it, is very like Scotch generic tape. I don't think the normal packaging has this compared to the open box. And opening it up, we have the pad right in here. This one is actually a little bit dirtier than I expected, which comes from an open box. On the side here, we have looks like the USB cable that you might have to use to charge. Just kidding, not the USB cable. I think these are protectors for your iPhone when you do plug it in. Below that, or not at all, we actually don't have a manual in here, which is surprising. I thought it would. But yeah, this is the controller when it's kind of clamped together. If you take off this back part, which I'm just discovering now, you can have it expand to fit your phone. Oh, that's kind of cool. It does feel a little bit flimsy on this back part, like it's gonna break. I also kind of didn't expect this to be here. I thought it was just gonna come apart completely with nothing holding it, and that's how you attach it to your iPhone. And yeah, these do look like they are covers on here, or something like that, so that you can connect your iPhone without potentially breaking it on these sides here. Buttons do feel pretty stiff. Joysticks feel stiff too, along with these directional pads and the L1s, R1s, everything like that. So the buttons do feel pretty stiff, which is pretty nice. So some first impressions with the Razer Kishi is that, as I mentioned in the unboxing, the buttons and joysticks do feel pretty good. For this back part to help it expand, it is pretty difficult to kind of switch it back and forth just because the plastic on the front, like this right here, has to bend in a specific way in order for it to close. After that, you then have to align it on the back part and you hear the click. To open it, you push these two side buttons up, and then it just kind of collapses on its own. But it does take a few times in order to have that kind of become a fluid motion. The next thing is, if you do have a case on your phone, you might as well throw that away, because as far as this goes in terms of extension, your phone will most likely not fit. I had a case that was just basically a standard normal size case on my iPhone 14 Max, and it would not fit, so I had to take off the case in order to have it fit. The other thing is, if you do have an upgraded phone like me, you might as well throw it out of the way, because for some reason at the moment it is not connecting to my iPhone. Therefore, I'm switching kind of back to my iPhone 11, and we'll see if this works instead. Now, as I did mention during my unboxing, there are these plastic things that I didn't know what they were for. On these ones that came out of the box, it does have the letter A, if that does ever become visible. The A is actually for the iPhone XS and iPhone 11 Pro. The ones that are already installed on here are the ones that say letter B, and they are for the iPhone XR, XS Max, iPhone 11, and iPhone 11 Pro Max. Now, in terms of setup, there is an app that I'm not sure if you really, well, you probably do, that you need to download. It's the Razer Kishi app. And basically all it really does is let you know if your controller's firmware is updated or not. I was looking through the rest of the menus, and the only things are the firmware, if you want to give feedback, FAQ, and what questions you may have for the Razer Kishi, and also an about, which is really nothing but the version number. So this app is sort of useless in terms of doing anything else. It's really just to make sure that your controller is up to date with the current firmware. So to set up the Razer Kishi on your phone, I took off my case, and you just plug in this bottom part. If you are lucky, it does detect your phone, and then you plug it into the top, and boom, you should have the Razer Kishi all set up. It does kind of feel like a Switch or a Steam Deck if you have one, and then from there you kind of just select your game and get ready to go. So latency and control wise, everything feels pretty smooth. Whenever I move the joystick, then everything moves like it should. When I push any of the buttons, they react pretty quickly, which is really great. It doesn't feel like there's any delay between the pushing and the moving, and that's actually what I like a lot about this so far, is that there's literally no delay. Every movement you do is going to be great. As you see, I just tried it on Chrono Trigger. I tried it also on Survivor IO, but that one didn't react to the controller at all. So I guess there might be only specific games right now that are reacting to this. Now, what might be the weirdest angle I've ever done on Worth It? If you look down here, this is a PS5. And one of the reasons why I wanted the Razer Kishi, or any other controller, but this one in particular, and I'll explain why at the end, is because I wanted to do some remote play on my PS5. So I was able to get it all set up. On here, this is Returnal. On my phone, which is kind of dark, this is Returnal. So I have it set up, and as I move the joystick, I move forward, I can look around, and there's like absolutely no delay between the inputs, and that right now I love that so much. I was able to kind of get my iPhone 14 Pro Max all set up with the Razer Kishi. I no longer have any issues. So I guess the biggest thing right now is that there is a growing pain in getting it set up, in terms of fitting it with your phone, taking off your case, and just figuring out what configuration works best for you. But I'm so excited that I'm able to do remote play from my phone. This is the best. There's no issues, no lag, no like internet connection, but that has less to do with the Razer Kishi and more with like just in general internet. But it helps so much that there is no lag input in the controllers, and this is great. This is really great. Portability wise, this is not going to be an issue at all, because it folds in and out, and it's basically like half the size of my iPhone 14. You can fit this anywhere. You can take it anywhere if you want to like play games outside, or you want to be on like your roof or balconies, or if you want to be like underwater. That won't happen. You can use this anywhere, and that's what's also really great about it. You can fold it up, put it in your bag, put it in any backpack, whatever. It might even be able to fit in your pocket if you try hard enough, and you can just take it out, unfold it, and boom, you have a controller. You can play games, and it makes mobile gaming a lot easier if the game works. So overall, I think this is a pretty great product, but at certain caveats. One of the caveats that you guys saw earlier is that it connected just fine with my iPhone 11 Max, Pro Max, whatever, but it took some time for it to kind of really work with the iPhone 14 Pro Max, and it's probably because this is a much older product and doesn't fully support iPhones past like 11. But after like some time, some trial and errors, getting it connected and everything, it started to really show up and do great things for me. So in terms of mobile phone controllers, you have multiple options now. This is the Razer Kishi V1. They do have a V2, which I think improves on the back, makes it more springy and more able to open instead of this weird spongy thing that they have on here. You have the Backbone 1, which is supposed to be really great for PS5 and everything like that. And the reason why I did go for the Razer Kishi V1 is because I was able to get this pretty cheap. I was able to find this on eBay for $36. You can find it now for around like $45, and if there's more deals coming up, especially in the holiday season, you can probably find it maybe even down to like $20. And for $20, I think this would be fantastic. If you do pay like the full price of like $100, it's not great. But if you do get it lower and are able to just really deal with all the issues, then this is a pretty great product. So overall, if you are okay with potentially not having a cover on your phone, or if you do, can somehow make it work, and are okay with the kind of jarring process of trial and error getting this to work with your phone, then this is a great product. It's even better if you are able to get it at like a low rate of $20 to $30, especially because it is an older product and there is a newer model out. So in the end, after everything I told you, is it worth it? Let me know!